Mom.
Ooh. Where are we?
I told it.
We're in the garden?
Yeah.
Do you love being in the garden?
So my baba.
So many papas.
Yeah.
Lots of yummy food to eat. Yummy treats. Did you just pick a bell? Bye, butterfly. Hi, guys. I'm hiding in the bathroom / laundry room. I just started a load of laundry. The boys are all asleep. My husband and my 2 boys are napping right now. And I just wanted to, last weekend I experienced like shoulder pain, like random shoulder pain. Like all of a sudden my shoulder became very achy, like there was air trapped inside. It kind of felt like the way it did after my C-section, when the doctor told me that air was trapped inside my body and it was going up towards my shoulders, and it was very achy and pressure and almost like a toothache, almost like a burping feeling, like gas is trapped inside of my shoulders. And I wanted to know if anybody else has experienced this. Sometimes this happens like once every 3 months or once every 6 months. You know, it doesn't happen super often, but it does happen. And when it does happen, it's pretty debilitating. The pain is very, very intense. That's all you can think about. And you know, I was wondering if anybody had any ideas or diagnosis for what this could be, what this, pain is, because it does happen, kind of randomly and periodically. So, leave it in the comments if you've ever experienced anything like this, or if you know somebody who's experienced something like this, a loved one, family member, friend, and shoot the information my way so that I know that I'm not alone in this, and maybe I can figure out what to further research in order to figure out where it's coming from, if it is connected to my lymph system, which is my theory, that it's actually like lymph buildup and kind of like a blockage in that area, and it becomes very painful until it finally, because it slowly dissipates. The pain slowly goes away. So it's almost like it's slowly draining. I'm talking about my lymph system. So that's just my theory. But if anybody has any additional information, please send it my way. I'll catch you guys in a little bit. Hi guys, so it is about 10:15 at night. Both of my boys are asleep, or one of them is asleep. The other one is falling asleep. my husband ran over to one of his friend's houses to go pick up a box of peaches. So we can have those for the week. That's exciting. I love peaches, especially fresh peaches. Anyways, I wanted to quickly discuss how I accepted that I had experienced a phantom pregnancy. In my personal experience, it was after the fact. It feels like the process of acceptance took such a long time. In reality, it didn't take that long, but it felt like it did when it was happening. I've expressed in other videos that for the first 6 weeks after my negative ultrasound, I decided to call what I experienced an emotional pregnancy, versus just calling it what it was, or what it is, or what it was a phantom pregnancy. So I called it an emotional pregnancy because I didn't know what else to call it, one. And two, I'm not really sure why I didn't realize it was a phantom pregnancy for so long. But once I realized it was, in fact, a phantom pregnancy, I had to continually, every single day, remind myself, and I've expressed this in other videos, that I had to continue to remind myself every day that my doctor had my best interest at heart. And even if she didn't care about me personally, she still cared about her license. And in misinforming me that I was not pregnant, or lying to me, telling me that I wasn't pregnant when I was pregnant, would put her license at risk. And I continue to remind myself that that's such a big risk. And so keeping her license is important to her. Even if I wasn't important to her personally, that still was important to her. And that the technician as well, the person who was in charge and actually performed the ultrasound on me, they also reported the same thing that the doctor reported. So I had two professionals that put their license at risk by telling me, or if they did lie to me and say that I wasn't pregnant when I really was, then that was a huge deal to me. So even after the fact that I had a negative ultrasound, I still had to continually remind myself that the ultrasound results were correct, that no fetus, no umbilical cord, no placenta, no sac, no fetal pole, nothing that even hinted towards conception was found in my uterus. Now, a lot of women's situations get a lot more complicated than that. Mine was pretty straightforward. After that, after my negative ultrasound, another thing that helped me to realize that what I was calling an emotional pregnancy was actually a phantom pregnancy was the fact that my belly started to go down, disappear, melt away. Once I realized that my uterus was empty, I didn't even have to say I'm not pregnant or I am pregnant. It was the fact that my uterus was found empty. There was nothing inside of it. There was no growing fetus. Pregnant or not pregnant baby or not pregnant or not pregnant baby or no baby, my uterus was found empty. Plain and simple. So once I realized that my uterus was found empty is when, it did take a little while, but my stomach did start to in a way, deflate. It started to deflate pretty quickly after my negative ultrasound and after accepting that my uterus was empty. The acceptance that my uterus was empty was a lot easier for me than the acceptance of a phantom pregnancy. Like I said, I called it an emotional pregnancy because that's what was easiest for me. The 6 weeks after I had my negative ultrasound, I was very, very sensitive about what had happened to me. I was confused about what had happened to me. What had happened to me mentally, physically, emotionally. I mean, the whole experience was something I was still trying to figure out. And so, one second. And so in doing that, in the process of figuring out what had happened to me, during that process is when I noticed that my stomach started to become flatter without me having to like suck it in or wear, you know, certain things to make me look like I was thinner. I started to notice that I guess the way fat was distributing around my body started to change back to the way I was pre-pregnancy. So during my phantom pregnancy, I noticed that, you know, I was putting on weight in the middle, which is what made me lean towards being pregnant versus not being pregnant, because all my weight was going towards the middle. After my negative ultrasound, I realized that my uterus was empty. I then began to notice that my fat started to go to other places again, the way it used to before I had ever gotten pregnant and before my phantom pregnancy. So that's another thing that helped me to accept that I had experienced a phantom pregnancy, was the fact that my stomach started to quote unquote deflate. It started to just go away. It started to become flatter and less bloated and round. It just started to go away. My husband started to notice it. I started to notice it. Like 2 months after my negative ultrasound, I wasn't, you know, completely flat. I wasn't the way I am now, but I noticed a huge difference in the way my clothes fit me, the way shirts looked, you know, the way belts fit me and things like that. So I know there's another point. Let me figure that out real quick. Hold on. So even though I still felt what I interpreted as fetal movement during my phantom pregnancy, I still continued to feel that sensation or those movement feelings after my negative ultrasound. I also continue to feel them to this day. I had some of those feelings earlier this evening, and those sensations have continued. I attribute them mostly to muscle spasms, my healing from my C-section, healing from, you know, pregnancy, and just general healing altogether. Now, although I still continue to feel those movements and sensations, the reason why phantom pregnancy became a realization to me was after my negative ultrasound. Okay, let me put this a little bit more into perspective. I thought I got pregnant in January of 2016. I received my negative ultrasound at the end of May of 2016. My estimated due date, or what I estimated my due date to be, was in October of 2016. So September, October, in there. So when that time came, when September, October came and I didn't have any signs of contractions, dilation, effacement, labor, or childbirth, then it was very, very clear, and it was very clear that I was not pregnant at the time that I thought I was pregnant. When those stages never happened, they never appeared, I never, went into labor, then it sunk in. You had a phantom pregnancy. And that's okay. That's okay. It might feel a little bit weird. You might feel a little bit ashamed, but I promise you, you will get over it. It's just something you have to work out inside of yourself and figure out, because that's what I'm doing. That's the only thing you can do, is try to figure out. Try to figure it out. Try to figure out why you had a phantom pregnancy. Try to figure out why you are having a phantom pregnancy. Try to figure out what you really want to accomplish in life, because it's important. So when those end stages of pregnancy never came, then it was very, very, very intimate that I was not pregnant, that I was never pregnant, and that I had experienced a phantom pregnancy, a false pregnancy, or pseudocyesis. Then one of the last stages that helped me come to the acceptance of phantom pregnancy was the fact that my changes in my lifestyle, my diet, my mental and physical wellness, changes in my environment, my outlook on life, changes in how I cope, how I deal with stress, all these changes made my symptoms go away. These changes alleviated my symptoms. My symptoms disappeared because I made these changes, and that solidified it, permanently stamped for me that I experienced a phantom pregnancy. That if I made these very small changes to my life, and that it affected me in a very positive way, and it made these negative symptoms disappear, is a sign that I experienced a phantom pregnancy, that the physical and emotional and mental symptoms that I was experiencing during my phantom pregnancy can be changed by lifestyle changes, diet, mental and emotional wellness changes, coping mechanisms, anger management, stress management. All of these things can alleviate these symptoms, and you can live a normal life without thinking that you are possibly pregnant, because those symptoms, are either lessened or they just go away completely. So I hope this made sense, and I didn't ramble too much. If this doesn't make sense, I do apologize. I am trying to make a point with some of these videos, and I think this point is important, so I hope that this made sense. If it didn't make any sense at all and you need some clarification, please leave your comments below. I will do my best to answer any questions you have. But I think that's it for this little spiel. If you need any advice or want any alternatives for your phantom pregnancy experience, your cryptic pregnancy experience, or your simulated pregnancy experience, please comment below, email me, or private message me through Facebook or Instagram. I am available and more than happy to help. So thank you guys. I'll catch you guys in a little bit. I think that's it. I'm not sure if this is the end of this video or not, but if it is, have a great day. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be well, be healthy, be safe, and have fun. Stay blessed. Bye.